Hey y'all, this is Jody, a Fervor Voice. It's been a minute. I'm so glad to be back. It's about time. I had something I was trying to figure out. I've had things that I've been finishing, been working on. Let's get to all of that. It is Saturday, November 25th, right after Thanksgiving. I got some things I need to release and I need to talk about, but I'm glad I got over the hump. Yeah, let's just get it started. Let's get it, y'all. Hey, Jody of Fervor Voice. I am back. So let's get right into this thing. Identity. This word gave me so much, so much anxiety. It gave me so much confusion. And I'm not even going to say the word did it. I'm going to have to put that on myself. I am a person that, just like my instructor told me, when I was getting my certification, when I was getting my coaching certification, she said to me, you are so definitive. You just require such a definition for every little thing. Sometimes you just got to feel your way through, but you always want a definition. You want it specific. Everything in life is not that way. And I felt like I understood her. I felt like I did. And I think I did in terms of certain things. I think there's certain words, like the word identity, that made me feel like, no. You need more than just a whimsical thing, kind of like definition. You need more than a feel it through kind of like definition. And I spent a lot of time trying to figure that thing out. Part of my requirement, I think, as an educator, is to know exactly what you're talking about. And this identity thing had me kind of wrapped up because every time I thought I had it defined, something else came about. And it was like, yeah, that's part of it too. Yeah, that's part of it too. So I spent a lot of time with this thing. And throughout that time spending figuring out what identity might be, I had my son's anniversary for his passing. I had some confusion. I had some ups. I had some downs. Then I met two amazing people. It just happened. One of them I actually already knew. And the other one I did not know. Just in the salon, get my hair done. The one that I actually knew, I just kind of knew in passing. Like we had been in the salon before together. And we ended up talking about some things. And I found out that these two women were also in that grieving stage. They're in a different stage. So they both lost significant people in their lives within, I believe, the same week. They're 5 months in to their grieving process. I found kinship with them literally within days. We exchanged numbers, and from that moment on, daily, several times a day, checking on each other, how you feeling, how you doing, talking to each other, laughing back and forth. I mean, I can text in the middle of the night, and one of them's gonna be up. That's just how that grieving thing works. And as we went on, and it's only been a few months, so as we went on, we realized that we actually had a purpose. And our purpose was, or is currently, to support each other. Like I always like to say, walk each other home. And that purpose has to do with getting us through those rough patches, those rough parts, strengthening each other and letting each other know that, hey, I got you. I got you. So as I started to, I feel like, become more open to the friendship and more open to what I'd once had with friends years ago and just felt like I'd never be able to reestablish, at least now, I started to awaken again. I started to laugh again. I started to clown around again. maybe not as playful, maybe not as big of a clown as I was, years past, but I started to do all those things again. It was playful on another level. It was entertaining on another level. It was opening up in a way that I hadn't in a long time. So I'm becoming more receptive to things not having to be a specific way. So with this comes this word identity, where I felt like, okay, your identity, that will be your habits, the things that you do on a daily basis, your good things, your positive things, your negative things. That's your identity, you know. And I'm like, yeah, that's it. And then shortly after that, I'm like, okay, if your identity is, and I'm going round and round and round trying to figure this thing out. I never mentioned it to them, but I'm having like an inner war with this whole thing, defining identity. Well, then my son's heavenly birthday comes about. For the first time, I had an amazing time since my son passed away. I wasn't running to go hide or running to go cry. Nothing wrong with crying, but I'm just saying, in that moment, I was able to stay in the moment the whole night. In the very beginning, we're setting up at the place that we had his birthday. We're setting up and everything, putting the little loop up and decorating the loop and everything, so we have a backdrop to take pictures in front of. We're getting that stuff done, my husband and I. And then my two friends come in, my girls come in. And it's like, I go straight to them and everything just kind of lines up. And we start having an amazing time. Now, nobody in my family knows her yet. So they're like, who's that? But they saw this joy in me that they hadn't seen. And I don't know what they were expecting. I don't know what they thought. But it just came from out of nowhere. I feel like we've had many events and I've enjoyed them until I didn't. And it was just like, okay, yeah, I had enough. And I'm leaving early, whatever. But this time, we had this place from 6 to midnight. 6 whole hours. I don't know where they went, but I had an amazing time the whole time. My family was a little bit reserved, and when they saw me with my girls that they hadn't met until that night, then it was just like they joined in. Now the laughter is back. Now it's back. So I think about the word identity. And when I think about the word identity, have I changed identity because I'm able to have a good time? Have I changed? Has my identity changed? This is something that literally cannot be defined in a sentence, I don't believe. And I didn't come to that conclusion. I was brought to that conclusion. So this whole weekend for my son's heavenly birthday, the whole weekend was beautiful. I had my friends, I had my family, and I had my husband's best friend, which he has a few. Everybody love have. So I had my husband's best friend there. And he's in there, he's a grill master. So he's in the kitchen, he's getting stuff ready, This is the next day, by the way. He's in the kitchen, he's getting stuff ready and everything. And I like to watch him in the kitchen because he's a grill master. He's very meticulous about things. I like to watch him in the kitchen. So he's in there and he's, talking to me and asking me some things. He said, "You still doing your podcast?" And I said, "I'm stuck." You're like, "Stuck? It's your podcast. How the hell are you going to be stuck? It's your podcast." Stuck on what? He can't believe this because I'm never at a loss for words. So we start talking. I'm like, I'm just hung up on identity. I don't know. Just hung up on that thing. And he was like, why? So we start talking. And then he starts asking me about some other things. And he's like, well, what about the kids? You're not at the school anymore. So, is that something you want to get? I said, no, I have no desire to be in the classroom in that way. I don't care. He's like, you don't care? I was like, I don't have it anymore. Towards the end, I realized I didn't have it and it was time to go. nobody should be in the classroom with a group of kids, which I would have I'd have about 10 kids in there at a time, supporting them with specific things. And I didn't have it to give. I didn't even have instructions the last day I worked. It was just like, you have free will, this is what's expected. You know that. I went and sat down and I said to him, that you don't need to be, that's dangerous. You don't even need to be in the room. Well, that's your attitude. He said, yeah, that's true. That's true. So we move a little forward on this identity thing. And one thing he got me to understand, and he had to get around my big ego first, but one thing he got me to understand was that there is no one way to define something that belongs to you. I mean, heart and soul belongs to you. You can't define that. And one thing that he said that really stood out was, identity is a black hole. Like literally, you can't really see it. You don't really know what's in there. You can't really speak what's in there. But you know it's there. It's there. It's infinite. And an identity can't be nailed down to one thing because it's a constant movement. And I said, no, I think it's more descriptive than that. I think no, there's a way to define it. He said, how? How? It belongs to you. So he gave an example of his wife. He said, she can't be without that phone. She can't, if she does not have that phone, she gonna have some problems. She has made that phone her identity. Nobody has. She has done that. Now there's gonna be some times where she's not gonna have time to do things with it, or she's not gonna be, and she's gonna move on to something else. There will be a time eventually. But right now, the phone's her identity. That's not all there is to her, though. It's so that, if you're talking about emotional, she's a super soft person. Super soft at heart. But on the outside, she's not letting you in. She defends. And we're very much alike in many ways. So I know what he's talking about. But like he was saying, there are so many elements, so many descriptive words. You really can't even define yourself in terms of an identity if you're being honest. But if you want to just describe one thing here or there, that's fine. But that's not even the true word. But at the end of the day, your identity is whatever you make it. It can't be defined as one thing. It's whatever you make it, and it's fluid. At one point, my identity was, the loss of my son, the grieving, at one point. Then the next stage was another period. At one time, my identity was education. The kids, make sure the kids got everything. And then it became intervention. I got to make sure I can keep these kids from falling through the cracks. It's always been motherhood. It's always been family. It's always been taking care of home. It's always been that. But there's so many pieces and parts. At the end of the day, identity cannot be described because it belongs to you. It's your inner self. It can't even be described. And even if it could be described, why would you want to? It's so fluid. It's so fluid. It's a constant movement. It never stays the same. And when it stays the same, you've already stopped living anyway. And I believe that our identities continuously change. We start to develop more of a taste for something and a dislike for something else, and vice versa. So I think that I did kind of overthink some things, and I think that I could have left that word as simplistic as it was years ago. It's just whatever you are. That's all. Whatever you are, whatever you want to be, whatever, whatever is infinite. It's like James said, it's like a friggin' black hole. You don't know what all is attached to that. Sometimes you don't even realize what you're doing in life. And after you get past a certain stage and you can say, oh, my identity was that, or I identified as that. And then I got my daughter's example where she was like, well, you can identify as anything. You don't even have to be it, but you can identify as it. I don't remember that lady's name. I've talked about her before. The lady that identifies as a black woman, but is not black. Like her mother and father are white, but she identifies as black. So that's her identity. And I know for a fact it's her identity because she lives as a black woman. She's still saying she's a black woman and is in the struggle. She is in the struggle. She is an advocate for black folks, African Americans, whatever you want to call it. She is not on the other side saying, okay, I made a mistake. I'm stepping out of that and I'm coming over here and I'm going to be on this side because yes, I am white. No, that woman is still identifying as black. So your identity is however you identify. And it's infinite. It's endless. It's however you identify. So whatever you are, whatever you want, that is your identity. And you consider some people are musicians. I am not a big fan of all of them, true enough, but everybody within their own right feels they're incredible or amazing or good or standing alone in a certain area or category. I call myself a skater, but if somebody else sees me on IG or somebody sees me on, YouTube, whatever, they might say, okay, she all right, but that's about it. But to me, oh no, I identify as a skater. Like I identify as a skater for 1 year in, and I'm identifying as a skater, not only a skater, a skate instructor. That's how I identify. So, at the end of the day, your identity is between you and your inner self. Period. Don't let anyone else identify. Don't let anybody else smack a tag on you. Your identity belongs to you. That's between you and your inner self, your inner spirit. That's got to do with you. Nobody can give you an identity. Identities are for objects. You can identify as, but identity, that's for objects. I'm kind of putting my hand on a table that's in my office. That's a table, point blank. It's tangible. It's sitting right there. That's its identity. However, humans, and this is my opinion, you identify as what you like. The word identity doesn't even align with a human. That's where I'm at that point, at this point rather. So all of that just to say, the word doesn't even align with a human being. And I spent a long time trying to figure that out and sitting in a cloud of confusion and just kind of like, I don't think it's good. No, I don't think, no. No one can poke a hole in what I feel is correct and accurate and true. And it took James and it took my daughter to get me to that point. But that's okay, because I was there for the journey. I was there for the journey. And it also brought me to another point. Yes, that I have been working on my business. I've been working on some other things. I still have my coaching business going. I still have that. And I'm also coaching for skating. Yep. So FloJo Skating, that is another arm in my business. I'm already pretty much ready to start taking in students for skating, and I hate to say skating because it's literally SK, the number 8 in exclamation point. So skating, ready to take people on at this point. I'll be opening in a local rec center here in Greensboro, North Kakalaki. So yeah, I've got some things going, and this is a lot more exciting than I thought it would be. And I'm real excited about it. So any information that you'd like, anything that you would like to know, I need you to go on to fervorvoice.com. And that is my brand new website. I've got everything on there that has to do with me, that has to do with what I offer, all the different elements of coaching that I offer, and now FloJo Skating. That is a name that's between me and my girls, how we came up with that name. But we all kind of have aliases that we operate under. And that's just kind of mine. And that's just that playful name and part of my real name. So FloJo is what I came up with. It's kind of cool because my generation came up with a track star. FloJo, believe me, I had the two. I'm not modeling after her at all. She was a track star. I am a skater, now skate instructor. So, I mean, all kinds of arms going on. I'm at that point in life where I'm just like, you know what? Whatever I want to try, I'm going to go ahead and try. People constantly say, find one thing, stick to it. Nah. I'm doing any and every damn thing I feel like doing that I think can bring me joy. That's where I'm at right now. Any and everything that I can do that will bring me joy. That's what I'm on right now. So still got my podcast going on. Still got information about my podcast. Of course, this has been the first episode in a long time, about 3-4 months, maybe even more than that. I'm going to continue keep delivering content. I got my second win, feeling good. I'm feeling inspired. And right now I'm going to go ahead and get some more things in order for my FloJo Skating. So that is instruction for the beginners. When you talk about getting the skates on, when you talk about the certain things that you have to pay attention to, information on things that you actually need. It's not a very expensive thing for you to do. You can do it outside, you can do it in the house, you can do it at the skating rink, whatever. But classes for both adults and kids, and exciting. I'm excited. I'm like smiling and everything. But anyway, instruction for adults and kids, parties for adults and kids. All of this just kind of coming down just because, my inspiration, my daughter. Mom, you need to move forward on this. You skate religiously, and I do. So why wouldn't that be a focus? Why wouldn't that be one of my arms? So, that's where I'm at now. FloJo Skating, look it up on my website. Again, fervorvoice.com. The email is, of course, FloJoSkating@yahoo.com, and that's skating spelled SK, 8, N @yahoo.com. So any questions, any correspondence, anything of that nature, you can contact me through that email. Also, my YouTube channel that sat for like 2 or 3 years. My YouTube channel is Live a Life of Fervor. So all of the arms will be under that particular email address. Whatever it is that I say that I want to create, it's all going to be under there. And it is starting to build. I had a lot of lives that I had done on Facebook. And there is a Facebook and there is, Instagram. Sorry. All over the place with this one. There is an Instagram also, a FloJo Skating Instagram spelled the same way. It's just FloJo Skating. So you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on YouTube. Of course, on Facebook. The Facebook is under Fervor. Either way, there are multiple ways to contact me if you are interested in booking for individual instruction, group instruction. Reach out to me. Also, there's a Calendly link that's on my website. You can hit that up and book an appointment. The first consultation is free, whether it's coaching, whether it's skating. whatever service I offer that you're interested in. So I need to get off here. I got things to do, but I thank you for listening. I am so happy to be back. I'm reset, rejuvenated, all that good stuff. Thank y'all for listening. It is Jody of Fervor Voice. I hope to see you all soon. All the information that you need is under that one website of fervorvoice.com. Look me up. All right, y'all. See you soon. Or talk to you soon. Yeah, that's it. Bye.